Australia is known for its beautiful landscapes, unique wildlife, and laid-back culture. But even this great nation has had its fair share of hilarious blunders and bizarre moments. Today, we're diving into the funniest, worst moments in Australian history that will leave you laughing and shaking your head. First up, the infamous Great Emu War of 1932.
100 years ago.
Have you heard of the Great Emu War?
I can't say I have because I wasn't born until 55 years later.
Okay, but did you know that our country went to war with emus?
That would not surprise me.
And who do you think won?
Oh, the emus for sure.
You're right.
Absolutely the emus won.
Farmers in Western Australia were overrun by giant birds, so the government sent in soldiers with machine guns. Literally, soldiers with machine guns. And after weeks of chasing around emus, the soldiers admitted defeat.
Can you imagine, right? You do the patriotical thing. You join your nation's defense forces. And this is probably just after.
This is in between World War I and World War II. So there's a few years gap between you and your brother, right? So if you were born at that time, there is a chance that you went to World War I and won, and then your brother goes to war against emus and lost. And there's gonna have been families who either the father or the brother did that.
Can you imagine having those discussions around the family dinner table? I went to war and fought against the Turk or whoever else it was during World War I. Yes, Dad, I went to war as well, but it was against emus. And just, you'd almost feel shameful, right, to an extent, even though you're doing the honorable thing.
You know how people back in my day, and it's literally back in my day, 5 years ago, we went and lost a leg in Normandy, and then here you are losing with more high-powered machine guns to emus. This was 10 years before World War II, so why did Australia not enlist and set up the draft for emus and send them over? We had a high-powered army that defeated an entire country, and we didn't bother to go send them over.
Do you reckon just the sheer force of numbers of emus might have just got them in the end?
So why was World War II not fought between the Nazis and emus?
You reckon that would have been a good idea, just to send all the emus over? Just take out Germany.
Think of how hard it would be for a kamikaze plane to take out a whole thing of emus.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to get anywhere near them. The Nazis would have been so confused with emus running around headless everywhere. They would have taken themselves out probably.
Next, we have the culinary disaster of Vegemite ice cream.
Oh.
Vegemite is the Australian spread, but some adventurous soul decided to make it into a great ice cream flavor.
Oh, that would not have gone down well.
Well, yeah, spoiler alert, it didn't go well.
No, that would have not gone down well.
The salty, savory taste didn't translate well to a frozen treat, leaving taste testers cringing. Imagine Vegemite ice cream on toast for your breakfast.
No. I mean, I like Vegemite and cheese on toast.
Or a stack of butter.
But that's the extent of it. It's one of those things that's an acquired taste, having Vegemite. You either grow up with it or you don't.
The unveiling of the Canberra Sky Whale in 2013 left many Australians scratching their heads.
Canberra had a sky rail?
Yeah, a bizarre hot air balloon shaped like a creature with 10 dangling breasts.
Oh my God.
It was supposed to celebrate Canberra's centenary.
Did it actually get built or not?
No, it did. Some loved it and some hated it, but everyone agreed it was one of the strangest sights in the Australian skies.
For everyone out there, Canberra is Australia's nation capital.
Canberra is Australia's Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Nothing happens there except for the
politics. That is it. The only reason why people live there is effectively to work for the government. It's actually really small and in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
Freezing, there's nothing to do there. And they built it away from the ocean so that it was in the middle of nowhere, so that if an army of emus decided they were going to invade, they wouldn't be able to invade easily from the shore.
Yeah.
Whereas most cities in Australia are built on the shore, which now makes a lot of sense. But back in the day, they were worried about being invaded by the emus.
Canberra, quite frankly, is a shithole of a place.
Well, it needed its sky whale to celebrate 100 years of having Canberra.
There's nobody there during the middle of the day.
Well, think of how excited nobody would have been if they looked up into the sky and saw a sky whale and said, that's my Canberra.
It's just, Yeah.
While speaking on camera, former Prime Minister Tony Abbott made headlines for all the wrong reasons when he bit into a raw onion.
Oh, well done, Tony.
Skin and all, during a visit to a Tasmanian farm.
Well done.
The nation cringed as he chomped down, smiling through the tears. Now imagine that you have bitten into an onion, but you're a prime minister.
How?
And then you gotta pretend like nothing's wrong, but you're also biting into the onion.
How
like,
does he
it's gonna
not know
cry.
it's an onion? Oh, come on. Someone's surely stitched him up, picked up an
Yeah,
onion.
I mean, Tony Abbott, though, is my hero because of his constant Speedo use. I think all politicians would do better in a Speedo. Imagine Joe Biden coming out in a Speedo. Joe Biden would have my vote. I would go to America to illegally vote if he turns up on stage in a Speedo. Just picture Joe Biden in a Speedo right
thank
now.
you, I know.
And try not to go rub one off after that.
Tony Abbott was actually in reasonable physical shape, and he actually
still is.
And so it was one of the things he did. He would go swimming in open water.
He's in such
with
great shape.
with a group of friends that he did pretty much every weekend.
He's in such great shape that he looks like he could be Joe Biden's great-great-grandson. In an attempt to control beetles in sugarcane fields, Australia introduced cane toads in 1935.
Oh.
The plan backfired spectacularly as the toads multiplied uncontrollably, spreading across the country.
Yeah.
Not only did they fail to control the beetles, but they also became a major pest themselves. Yeah.
They lost control of that one too. Like, what geniuses come up with these ideas and not think about the ramifications or the consequences? Do people just not realize how dumb some of these decisions are?
I wonder if that's how the emus got here. Like, they accidentally tried to bring in the emus to fight crocodiles, and then the emus took over.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Well, Australia loves its big things.
Yeah, we've got lots of them.
Like the big banana and the big pineapple.
Yep.
These oversized roadside attractions have sparked some friendly rivalries.
Yeah.
The big banana, located in Coffs Harbour, and the big pineapple in Queensland have been competing for tourist attention for decades.
Yes.
It's a battle of the giants, the fruit giants.
Yes.
And there are big anything and everything all over Australia. The big merino, which is a form of sheep. The big apple. There's the big apple in the middle of nowhere, remember?
Did we visit the big merino?
Yeah. We also visited the big apple, which was just a random apple in the absolute middle of nowhere, like in a country town with nothing going on. And it's not even in the town, it's in just like someone's backyard, basically.
Okay.
There's the big prawn.
The big prawn, I've heard of that.
There's the big package in my house. People come from around the world to see it.
Let's put your address
Let's not
out
put my
here.
address.
Let's put your address out here for everyone to know so that they can come and check out the big package.
Australia's big package.
Australia's big package. Do you want me to tell everyone your address?
No, it's fine.
It's numbered.
Okay. Bushranger Ned Kelly is a legendary figure, but his homemade armor is a laughable piece of history. Made from plow blades, his armor was heavy, cumbersome, and it had a helmet that looked like a tin can.
It was a tin can, literally.
Yeah. During his final shootout, the armor protected his body but left his legs exposed. He was captured after being shot in the legs, proving that the DIY armor has its limitations.
It does.
So imagine over-armoring yourself with all this heavy metal tin can stuff, and then you forget about your legs, and then you get shot in the legs.
I reckon if he put anything on his legs, he wouldn't have been able to walk.
I think he was struggling to walk anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Finally, we have the celebrity showdown between Australia's pop princess Kylie Minogue and American reality star Kylie Jenner. When Jenner tried to trademark the name Kylie, Minogue fought back, pointing out that she was famous long before Jenner was born. Minogue won the battle, proving that you don't mess with the Aussie icon. Let's just say you're Kylie Johnson, and then now you can't use the name Kylie in your business because it's trademarked.
That's just ridiculous.
Can someone trademark Marcus so you can't use your name anymore?
So what actually happened with this case? Did Kylie Minogue end up winning the trademark or not?
No, she stopped it from going
Oh,
through.
she stopped from going ahead.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that an Aussie has actually brought common sense to the world so that one person can't actually stop.
This is one of the great contributions by Australia to the world. We gave you the right to use the name
Use
Kylie.
your actual own name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've pretty much...
Anyone out there whose name is Kylie owes a service of gratitude to the nation of Australia.
Run right out and do yourself a favour and buy one of... Just bio song or whatever.
I think the only right thing to do is rub one out to Tony Abbott in the Speedo. In honor of Australia.
In honor of Australia.
Chomp down an onion, rub one out to Tony Abbott in the Speedo. Anyone whose name is Kylie, you owe it to the country of Australia. On that note, goodbye.